get this, somewhere 254 miles above us, an astronaut is probably printing something. Ever since the International Space Station welcomed its first residents back in November of 2000, there have been printers on board. Astronauts use them to print out critical information, emergency evacuation procedures, and sometimes photos from home. Now, according to NASA, they print roughly 1,000 pages a month on 2 printers. One is installed in the US side of the ISS, while the other is installed in the Russian segment. ISS residents do this on 20-year-old technology. The printers have been problematic for the last 5 or 6 years. It's not that the space station has been orbiting with the same printer since Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC, but NASA had dozens of these printers made, and as one failed, well, they just simply send up another identical model. But now, it's time for something truly new. In 2018, NASA will send 2 brand new specialized printers up to the station. 2 years ago, HP started helping on an ISS IT overhaul, getting new Gen 2 ZBook laptops for the crew, so it was only natural that they would turn to them again for the printer project as well. NASA had a very unique set of requirements that HP had to meet. NASA wanted a printer that could print and handle paper management in zero gravity, handle ink waste during printing, be flame retardant, and be power efficient. Instead of building a specialized printer from scratch, HP recommended the HP Envy 5600. It's a standard all-in-one printer, scanner, copier, fax machine device you can buy at retail for about $120. But the printers heading up to the ISS early next year underwent significant modifications. They removed the capability to do scanning, fax, and copy out of it to reduce weight, and removed the glass, which, if it breaks in space, could become a space disaster. HP had to build new paper handling systems for it as well. Ultimately, HP went through every printer system and component to analyze how it would be affected by zero gravity. HP and NASA also removed the scanner cover, adding numerous fasteners, replacing the shell with fire-retardant plastic, and adding a significant amount of absorbing material in the print well to catch any wasted ink. There's no lid or glass, but aside from the 3D printed materials, the ISS's next printer looks pretty unremarkable. NASA and HP have retrofitted roughly 50 HP Envy printers and expects each one to last roughly 2 years. NASA plans to send the first 2 printers up to the station on a SpaceX resupply mission scheduled for February of 2018. In Puerto Rico, AT&T has deployed a flying cow for the first time ever. Okay, not an actual flying cow. It stands for Cell on Wings, as they work to permanently restore the network in the area. This environmental technology is providing data, voice, and text services to customers. This is the first time an LTE cell site on a drone has been specifically deployed to connect residents after a disaster. The flying cow, as AT&T calls it, is providing wireless connectivity to customers in an area up to 40 square miles. It flies 200 feet above the ground and can extend coverage farther than any other temporary cell sites. It's ideal for providing coverage in remote areas. LTE-connected drones hold a lot of potential for FirstNet subscribers. Exploring the capabilities of this technology in wake of Hurricane Maria's devastation will help temporarily restore connectivity and assess how first responders can use the drone in the future. Teams are working around the clock right now to restore the network and deploy additional assets in impacted areas. Today, nearly 70% of the population in Puerto Rico and nearly 95% of the population in the U.S. Virgin Islands are connected again, thanks to these efforts. Being a trucker means driving huge distances on demanding deadlines. And one of the biggest dangers in trucking is the threat of drivers falling asleep at the wheel. Now, to celebrate 60 years of truck production in Brazil, Ford decided to try to help the problem by creating a hat that tracks head movements and alerts drivers in danger of snoozing. Working with creative agency GTB, the company developed the Ford Safe Cap. After conducting research identifying which head movements were associated with the job and which indicated lack of attention and fatigue, the company developed software to tell the difference and outfitted the trucker's cap with sensors and a gyroscope to warn the driver with sound, light, and vibration. It's an obvious brand-building exercise that may or may not find life as an actual product in the future, and Ford is no stranger to marketing projects that go beyond a one-off concept. Earlier this year in Spain, the company unveiled a smart crib that mimicked a car's motion and sensory experience to help babies fall asleep. And the response was so strong, it became an available option for car buyers. The company is hoping the Safe Cap will experience a similar reception. Since the hat was unveiled at South America's largest truck show, a GTB spokesperson says they've received thousands of requests asking how and where they can buy the product. But the project is far from finished. The company is hoping that by talking about Safe Cap, well, they'll be able to find more innovative partners to refine the product and release an updated version to the world in the near future. Full disclosure, I am an Android fanboy. I love the Android operating system on a phone and everything it lets me do, but I do recommend Apple products to many people in my life. It really depends on how tech-savvy you are in my head. Samsung, however, has trolled every single generation of the iPhone in one 1-minute video. The ad follows a young man through the years as he meets and falls for a young woman. However, the focus of each touching moment in their blossoming relationship is, well, how his iPhone is inferior to her Samsung Galaxy. And Samsung makes sure to put every single downside of owning an iPhone on display. That includes waiting in lines for the new model, inadequate photo storage space, lack of water resistance, and of course, the headphone dongle. There's even a not-so-subtle swipe at the iPhone X's notch. And if all that wasn't enough, there's the ad's title, Samsung Galaxy Growing Up. Check it out.
Guess what I just got?
I used to be spellbound in your arms.
Hello again.
Hi.
That's a big phone.
With all of your conniving, you lost your charm. You built a flame that warms my heart, but your lying and cheating has torn us apart.
You gotta send me that pic.
And I'm moving on. I'm gonna find somebody out there that will surrender to me tender loving care. Oh, I'm moving on.
Now, I believe every device has its place. I have to use an Android phone. There are things as a tech that I do with my phone that Apple just simply doesn't allow. But for non-techies, I always recommend iPhones. They always work, are easy to use, and are still one of the most secure phones that you can buy.